well, let's look at Planned Parenthood, right? You have this thing called Planned Parenthood, started out with Margaret Sanger. Margaret Sanger is known to have ties with the KKK. Then you have people like Jamila Lemieux, who gets money and awards from Planned Parenthood to push her feminism. And then when confronted about Margaret Sanger, she goes, oh, well, she's dead. And just because she started this doesn't mean that's what this is anymore, right? But then if I align with Republicans, they try to take everything Republicans or conservatives are allegedly associated with and throw that in our face, but we can't use this. Meanwhile, when you look at Planned Parenthood, the name is inaccurate. They don't plan parenthood, they plan death. And if you look at what they provide for women, period, the only thing they provide for women are prenatal vitamins. The rest is abortion. They should just call it the abortion clinic. They're not planning any parenthood, they're planning death.
See, my family were like Protestant Republicans. And so anybody that was racist was like seen as a loser that wanted to put somebody else down to make themselves feel big. But I was never really around Democrats. And then when I got into media and I would go out and protest at abortion clinics and stuff, I'd have black people come over. And I've had like Reverend Childress on. He says, oh, absolutely, that happens to me all the time. He's against black genocide. And they start foaming at the mouth. This is some virtue signal when I say this because Hotep Jesus is on here with us. And he's African or whatever. They would go, you don't want to, now you see it on the news, Project Veritas has caught it and others. You don't want those black babies. You need to take some if you aren't, or blah, blah, blah. And it's like foaming at the mouth like Renfield black people who've been hired by the liberal Draculas. And it's really true, like Bob Marley said, the Babylon system is the vampire. And it is true, if you want to talk about blacks or Africans being targeted, that was the beta test of the vampirism. And if you go into leftist communities, I don't care if they're white Appalachians or black poor areas, the people are like hopeless and they walk around like zombies. And you talk about vampirism. This is a short segment, longer segment coming up, Hotep. But I'm telling you, the left knows. I go to these events, we've had undercovers go in, and they're devil worshipers. And they say, we want to kill people. We want to enslave them. We love Satan. And then I came to the realization in the last 5 years that I knew they were into devil worship high up, but I didn't realize it was like all the way down into it. And I don't know why on the list of people to hurt, black folks, Africans, are one of the favorite hors d'oeuvres. Am I wrong there in the 3 minutes we've got, or can you explain that to me?
No, you are not wrong. Hors d'oeuvres is funny. But yeah, sometimes I feel like we're the main course.
No, I agree, but I'm just saying that's the thing that they like. The thing that they started with that. It's like I think that's the start of the meal.
Yeah, no, you hit that straight on the head. You know, I have no pushback on that at all. We are fodder almost. There's many different theories as to.
No, and I agree. It's the main. It's one of the big targets of depopulation with Oprah, the head of it. When I say hors d'oeuvre, it started with you.
Right. Yeah, exactly. No, I totally get it. Well, let's look at Planned Parenthood, right? You have this thing called Planned Parenthood, started out with Margaret Sanger. Margaret Sanger is known to have ties with the KKK. Then you have people like Jamila Lemieux, who gets money and awards from Planned Parenthood to push her feminism. And then when confronted about Margaret Sanger, she goes, oh, well, she's dead. And just because she started this doesn't mean that's what this is anymore, right? But then if I align with Republicans, they try to take everything Republicans or conservatives are allegedly associated with and throw that in our face, but we can't use this. Meanwhile, when you look at Planned Parenthood, the name is inaccurate. They don't plan parenthood, they plan death. And if you look at what they provide for women, period, the only thing they provide for women are prenatal vitamins. The rest is abortion. They should just call it the abortion clinic. They're not planning any parenthood, they're planning death.
And where do they stick them?
They take them and they put them in Pepsi. That's what they do with the baby. They put them in Pepsi, they sell them, they sell the body parts, they sell the stem cells, and then they make money off of the black baby. Matter of fact, Planned Parenthood makes more money off black babies than black people do. I'm sure to bet. They make more money off black people, period, when you have people like the feminists, the black feminist movement, who actually work for these globalist-backed regimes. That's exactly what they
Well,
are.
as you know, that was Margaret Sanger's job. We've got her famous diaries and in the Kellogg's and Colgate Foundation. She said, we've got to hire blacks, get them trained to go out and then control the other people to exterminate these Africans. We'll be back with Hotep Jesus on the other side. We're going to get him back a lot more because he's doing great work. And then we've got Roger Stone with exclusives on the hearings today and on the new Supreme Court nominee, Andrew Napolitano. Stay with us, Infowars.com, Newswars.com. Donald Trump is breaking the will of the globalists. We're all breaking the will of it ourselves. And I can tell you, Trump is pro-Christian, he's pro-God, he's pro-freedom, but he's not a hypocrite. He doesn't sit like a Pharisee telling you how great he is. But Trump particularly, in private conversations, and now, I told people about this a couple of years ago, but now he says it's about energy. It's not some new agey thing. He doesn't like the energy of death. He doesn't like the energy of being a vampire. Now, he's also the type of guy, if you want to make mistakes and stuff, that's up to you. He's all about free will. But it's not just Trump. He's here at a critical time where all these other nationalists from the continent of South America, Africa, Australia, Russia, Europe, Eurasia, everywhere, this is happening. And there's a force trying to control human destiny. And Hotep Jesus is a African activist who's exploded onto the scene, tens of millions of views on his videos. And he's just gone to the Turning Point USA. I was flying out of D.C. to wherever our flights were changing back to Texas, and I flew with the number 2 guy at Turning Point USA, and he was talking about some of the plans, the things that were going on. And they recommended, that Watson go do some major stuff in D.C., but of course Watson doesn't want to do that. I'm not bitching at Watson. It's just that there's just so many opportunities, but there's only so many people, Watson does a great job, who particularly want to get in the streets. And I think that it's engaging people that does that. And Hotep, talk about, well, you've got the floor for the rest of the segment, whatever you want to get into, but I know you're out there in the streets. What is the real pulse of the African community in this country from the poll numbers we see versus the reality?
All right. Real quick, before we get into that, I just want to touch on this one stat.
Whatever you want to cover, go ahead.
So check this out, right? This is according to Planned Parenthood. They have 17,419 instances of prenatal care services versus 3.5 million STD tests and 323,000 abortions, right? So prenatal care services only account for about 5% of their services. Only 5% of their services are for Planned Parenthood, and black people are backing this. This is an atrocity. I did a story about this. It's called Planned Parenthood Wants to Kill Black People on HotepNation.com. This is one of the devils in our community that we're trying to fight. But I just wanted to cover that really fast.
No, Hotep, you're absolutely right, because I saw books by Brian.com. Tell us about the website. Where should people go?
Well, booksbybrian.com is a landing page I created for my marketing book, and it just basically tells you like how I got on Starbucks, how I use psychology to build a following. Just by being myself. A lot of people think you have to be something else to be something in the world.
Yeah, great looking websites. Tell me about your main site, though.
The main site is HotepNation.com.
All right, HotepNation.com. I want to plug that. I've seen it before, and I'm glad you reminded me of it.
Yeah.
So what you're getting at here is that there's a litmus test. As I've said, I don't want to hear you claim your virtue signaling. I don't want to hear how much you hate cops. I don't want to hear how much you care about how you want to help African people or anybody else in this country. The fact that the left is targeting black people for abortion, targeting them to be killed, that's the litmus test. And the left, though, when you bring that up to one of these, so-called, African leaders or whatever in the U.S., they just cut and run because they're bought and paid for. They'll pull up in their brand new Mercedes in a neighborhood they don't live in. They'll give some racist speech to cause a bunch of infighting. And meanwhile, you drive across town, 99% of the white people you talk to are not, I hate Africans, I want to abort their ass. So the natural ally of everybody is Christians and others that aren't into death.
Yes. The black community, or I'm sorry, I should say the black bourgeoisie, the black so-called media, which we know is not black owned, is being paid to attack men like me. Straight white men, straight black men are under attack. We have become public enemy #1 in the eyes of the
because we're the potential leaders.
because we are the potential leaders, because we are the ones that can actually protect people from the globalists. So they have to get us out the box, out the paint ASAP. And they're using feminists to do this. Some guy named Michael Harriot, some writer for The Root. The Root is the #1 perpetrator that is doing this to us. And they've put black men in the line of sight for their firing squad. It's disgusting. And that's what we're like. You have this one thing now where they say that black men are the white people of black people. Like, how ridiculous is that? So now here I am aligned with conservatives and they're mad. I'm like, but you just said I was the white people of black people. How can you be mad now when you already put me in that boat? So that's just one example. They have weaponized the black woman against the black man. They've been doing that since the 50s with the welfare, where in welfare you had to have the man outside of the home in order to reap the benefits. They are now weaponizing the LGBT movement under the guise of Black Lives Matter. They have weaponized trans people. They have weaponized women. They are going to use the indoctrination centers that we call public schools to weaponize the children and the college students against us as well, to create an implosion of the black community and use democratic policies to siphon power from the black community. And this is what we're fighting.
I have talked to major rock stars, some of the biggest names out there, who were told in the 90s, you better start doing gangster rap. And a lot of them tried it, or you're going to be off the air. And Sumner Redstone and the globalists and the corrupt elements of the CIA are on record funding gangster rap to brand black men as murdering gangsterous thugs so they could then make white people hate black men, put black men in prison, and then break down society, just like the cocaine got shipped into with the real Freeway Rick Ross. And that's a fact. Now, it doesn't mean once they wound up a bunch of black guys to be racist, drug dealers, and thugs, just like MS-13 or the KKK, doesn't mean they're not, some of those groups, bad. But the point is they were manufactured. They were mind controlled. They were turned into that. So just like I don't like a group of those guys coming after me and my family, I grew up in Dallas, I've dealt with it, that doesn't mean that I don't see the larger picture of the factory that created that.
Yeah, they've weaponized VH1 against us. That's the new one with their...
oh, you can see it. They have all these black people, the MTV Awards and VH1 Awards, talking whites are bad, whites are scum, we're going to get you. That's meant to make white people become racist and hate black people. It's so damn evil and obvious. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah. Well, VH1 has created programming that's going to force black people to hate black people. All you see is black on black crime. So Hollywood has...
So it's very sophisticated. How do we stop it?
How do we stop it? It starts with this right here, the conversation between Hotep Jesus and Alex Jones. That right there is mind-breaking. It also starts with people who have a large following, just tweeting the word Hotep. That is going to make the black liberal lose their mind. You see, when Hoteps in the black community are empowered, the black community comes back to its power, to its center. And then the black liberals lose power because Hoteps have more connection with the black community than the black liberals do. Black liberals have a fake attachment to the black community. In fact, when I talk to people in the black community, there is not much hate for Trump as you would see online. I can red pill somebody that lives in the hood a lot faster than I could one of these bourgeoisie blacks. These bourgeoisie blacks are completely brainwashed because they've been through all levels of the public school system. Well,
it's like white liberals or anybody. They think they're part of the establishment. They even buy into the lies. They even know it's the lies, but they feel like they're in power. Let's do one more segment, and Roger Stone's coming up, because this is critical to understand that if the average person turns on the Oscars or anything, and you see all this racist stuff being slung at white people, that's Hollywood trying to cause a race war. And so we have to be sophisticated enough to get that and understand it. Hotep Jesus is our guest. We're going to get more of the definition of Hotep that scares the globalists and the leftists and these globalist vampires so much on the other side. Newswar.com. Infowars.com. And then Roger Stone with Big Bombshells is coming up. I was eating jalapeno while Hotep was talking and sucked it down in my lungs. It feels real good right now.
You know, someone very profoundly once said many years ago that if fascism ever comes to America, it'll come in the name of liberalism.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
You just saw a short excerpt of the full interview we did with this notable awakened human. If you want to see the full unedited interview, go to InfoWars Interviews online. We have links below, and we have links to the side to our other channels, but the full interviews are being posted to InfoWars Interviews online on YouTube and other platforms. And you can always find the full live transmission at Infowars.com/show.
Support good oral health with our one-of-a-kind Super Blue fluoride-free products. InfoWars Life brings you a revolutionary toothpaste blend with iodine and nano silver designed to deliver a powerful clean. Enjoy a minty fresh flavor made with peppermint oil or try our bubblegum flavor. Pair this groundbreaking toothpaste with the Super Blue fluoride-free mouthwash and supercharge your oral health. Our amazing mouthwash features natural oils and ancient ingredients used since Aboriginal and biblical times. Instead of containing fluoride, our Super Blue line is loaded with the good halogen iodine and an array of other beneficial compounds that have been hand-selected for their oral health benefits. Super Blue fluoride-free mouthwash and toothpaste are the first and only to contain all of these natural ingredients: xylitol, nano silver, and iodine. Notice the difference with our Super Blue fluoride-free products. Refresh your breath and invigorate your oral health routine at InfoWarsStore.com. That's InfoWarsStore.com.